So welcome to this tutorial series. It's called 30 Days of Python, and this is day 1. So we'll get started now with Python. So what is Python? Python is an object-oriented functional programming language. It's object-oriented because you can use objects. It's functional because you can program it in a procedural style. And Python has a variety of use cases. It's used by NASA, it's used in a software program called Blender, it's used by Google, it's used by a host of other companies in Silicon Valley. And then it has the biggest use case of Python in modern times has been in data sciences. So data sciences, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and AI. And that's the area we'll be going into in the course of these 30 days if we have time. I'm doing this series freestyle, so I really don't have an idea on how it will go, but as we go along, it will take shape. Now, the first thing you have to do is let's install Python. So the next thing you go to python.org. While that is loading, so let's come to python.org and you go to download. Now, the latest version of Python is Python 3.11. So you just click that big button there and it will give you the 64-bit version. So you wait for that to download. It brings up a download location. Save it in the download location, which will be my downloads folder. Wait for that to go. So you can come to success stories. Okay, so download is complete. And I'm going to success stories and then we do this thing. So click here, click on it. It's going to bring up the Python window. Now what you want to do is use admin privileges when installing python.ts. You want to add it to your path, so you click on that, you add it to your path, and then you click on install now. To bring up the user access control, you say yes. So you can see, going through the site, you can see various things: Python events, user group events, Python archives, news, community, success stories. Let's check scientific and then software development. And my favorite is engineering. The download is still ongoing. So let's go. So scientific. So Python is a use case in VR. Python helps meteorologists. Python helps for scientific data visualization. For engineering, we see Python being used for collaborative robots, and then there's a section called getting to know Python. Now, if we scroll down, we come to Python books. So various books you can read on Python. I was still checking that. We basically have like introductory books, appear to be game development books. So I'll check that. GUI books, system administration books, web programming books. So let me look at the books on game development. There's a module in Python called Pygame. So I guess that's what the books on game programming will be covering. They'll be covering Pygame. Yes. Some of these books are quite old. This invent your own games with Python, game programming event, yeah, 2023. This is 2007. It's a classic book. You will like it if you read it. So let's check GUI because Python can be used to create GUIs. Let's check scientific programming. Let's check web programming. All the download is still downloading. Not download, sorry. All the software is still downloading. So this is work on Python and Qt. This is scientific programming books. So really with Python, you are covered. It's a great first programming language because of its simplicity. And as we go on in this series, we'll be looking at how to choose Python based on that simplicity. This is scientific programming. Which is quite a lot. And this is web programming. Because so when it comes to web programming in Python, there's a framework called Django and Flask. I know here you see, if you come to this URL, you see web programming, but there's a framework called Django and Flask. And I always recommend, this is Django here, I always recommend you use the latest and greatest tools as much as possible. Python for Finance is a must read. It's a must read if you're interested in financing. So Tkinter is a framework for creating user interfaces that comes with Python. It's built in with Python. So if you're using Python, you already have Tkinter enabled. So this is just something from an engineering perspective. Okay. So let's check the link to video courses for Python. Oh, this is still going. Okay, so the first one is create your first Django app. And it's a long list. Okay, so let me see how long the list is. Okay, from beginning to end. So write your first Django app. Regression modeling with statistics in Python. Python programming for project-based Python programming for kids and beginners. PyTorch for artificial intelligence. Migrating to R for data, Python for data analysis. Python programming for everyone, which is a video series which I kind of quite recommend. Python and PHP programming bundle. Python programming beginners. Hands-on Python regular expressions. Beginning recommendation systems with Python. Getting started with using Python. So you have a lot of videos you can watch that covers Python. Okay, so this is Python for collaborative robots, which is something that's a nice article to read if you're interested in robotics. You can close this now. Go to software development. Using the Python, that will be very interesting. Online pharmacy marketplace with Python. It's a cool project to develop. We're just walking through the Python website. Now, Python for scientific data visualization. What this one is about is how do you use Python for creating visualizations? How do you use Python for creating visualizations? Okay, so Python to help meteorologists. Now, as far as I know, the language used by meteorologists is Fortran. So it's kind of, this is kind of even a surprise for myself to find Python being used in this realm of application. But yes, Python is being used even here. Now for virtual reality, this is quite of a surprise. This one was a surprise even for myself because I didn't know about that one. So okay, that's quite easy with Python. Okay. So we can check out the beginner's guide. Okay, this part of the website is kind of nice. They detail what you should use Python for. So with links to all of them. So for web development, I talked about Django and Flask, which for me are the top two. For GUI development, mention Tkinter. For me, I would say Kiwi because Kiwi. So let's open up. Let's close down the other windows. Let's close down the other windows. Back to Python.org. So Flask, which for me are top two. Tkinter, Kiwi. Okay. Pandas are quite popular, but I'd like to check that out. Two sorts. So the Django project is about Django. And as of today, they are on version 4.1.3. Flask is a lightweight version of Django. So Tkinter doesn't have its own website, but Kiwi does. And Kiwi is quite interesting because it allows you to create Android applications using Python. So a single code base, you'll be able to deploy, this is the promise, application apps on Windows, Linux, Mac OS, iOS, and Python and Android, sorry. So for pandas, there's a site for pandas. So it's taking too long. I wonder why. Okay, so this says the data is Python's de facto GUI interface package. Okay, it's not it's the most commonly used one. Yes, that's the thing. So the documentation on it is quite comprehensive. You can use it for a lot of things. With Kiwi, Python for data analysis is the standard book for this. And Buildbot, let me just see what Buildbot is about. Okay, so this here says, so yes, There are two versions of Python in use, popular use. There's Python 2 and Python 3. They are not too different. It's just that we'll be using Python 3 for this class, and we will be using that to create all our programs. We won't touch Python 3 at all. Now it says setup was successful. And what we just do is we close it, and then we close this. Let me just check if it's here. You can see it here, Python launcher. It's there. So what we do now is this. We come to Windows, we look for idle. I'm going to start, move it. Launch it. Okay. So you see two of them. There's idle and there's Python. So let's launch two of them. I'll explain the difference between the two of them. Then we'll end the class. Okay, this one says Python 3.11, 32 bits. This one says Python now. Okay, now we're going to do a simple command. We're going to use the function print, go back in, say hello. This works. So it works. This is you running it in the shell. This is the shell is underneath this version. So you come here and you run print. You have your answer. So this is print hello world, and then you have your answer, which is this. And the difference in the two is that one is a shell, like a command line, and the other one is like a GUI. However, you can also run scripts, but we've taken too much time into this class. So next time we will look at how to run a script and execute a script. Thank you very much for watching.